Welcome to Joe's Astrology, and this is Gene Hackman. Just died at 95 with his wife or girlfriend. I don't know that much about it, but that's what I do know, and we're going to get into this. Let's start with that, and then we'll come back to his life. Let's see here. So what I was looking at the death and looking at the transits, and first thing I want to see here or show here is that Mars is here at 17 degrees. So he has Pluto in the fifth, and fifth house. Pluto is his soul, deepest part of the chart. In the fifth, the Leo house of being center stage, creativity, creative self-actualization, romances, affairs, etc. And that's what I want to indicate, or I want to show here, is that this Mars has been sitting on this Pluto for a while, and it just went direct. It's just about to hit 18 degrees if it hasn't already. And it's interesting that he was found, I guess the couple was found dead together. Now him being 95, that's not surprising, but with them together, that's interesting. And here we see is Mars transiting Pluto, the two planets of death, in this fifth house of romance. And then it gets even more interesting. Venus just went, or Venus is about to go retrograde. It's at 10 degrees Aries. It's just sitting there, and that's conjunct his Uranus. And when you think of, first of all, that's also ruled by Mars and Aries there. But when you think of the relationship that he was in and the situation of the death, Venus-Uranus, this unusual situation around a relationship. And she looked younger. I don't know how young she is, so we could throw that in there as well if I can confirm that she's much younger. That's that Venus-Uranus transit. And if we look at his chart, we can see that Venus is making an exact sextile to Uranus. And that would definitely give him opportunities to have these unusual relationships. There's also a Jupiter. There's a Jupiter transit here to his IC. Jupiter's currently at 11 or 12 degrees, and there's his IC at 9 degrees, late 9 degrees. I didn't really get into anything else specifically. Neptune is also right about 29 degrees, and this is very much a Neptunian person, which we'll get into. We can see his Neptune retrograde, indicating some kind of redoing or redoing of the Neptune function in the life. In the seventh house, it's in an angular house. So anytime if you see Neptune specifically in an angular house, in a transit, or in the birth chart, Neptune is going to be prominent in the life. And then, of course, we see has Venus, Sun, and Moon all in the 12th house, that Pisces house. And this has a lot to do with performing and acting and being on stage, things of that nature. But let's start with, and these are important because when you look at the chart, the big three, rising, moon, and sun in Aquarius, it's completely different from what you would think of from an actor or a performer. But he has this Pluto in the fifth, where he's coming from. South node in the 8th, 7 degrees Scorpio. So this is where he's coming from. This could be somebody who is dependent on others, who has a lot of connections, a lot of contracts with people, really good at making deals with people, not afraid to do what needs to be done to make these deals. And then you can see he's moving into the 11th, the polarity of the 5th, and there's tons of planets on this side of the chart. And as well, he has the North Node there in the second house of money. this is looking at the chart from a porphyry standpoint. We could also look at it from another standpoint, maybe a whole sign, which I'm not going to do right now. But specifically this 5th, 11th. And this is a good lesson for people who are creatives. And you can see someone like this is adept at bringing their creative abilities to other people, to dealing with the relationships in order to to bring those abilities to the public, integrating it into a social function. Because a lot of people who are creative have a hard time with that. They want to stay in their little creative bubble, and that's fine. That's more of the inner life, path. But if people that truly don't want to do that and they're in this phase of moving towards trying to get their stuff out there, etc., this is what you have to do. And this guy's bringing that in this life. He's bringing it to this life. It's already here. That's why he would be so successful. And we can look at the nodes here. We can see that the facilitator of this south node is Pluto in the 5th. So really putting himself out there is going to get the job done. Facilitator of the north node is Venus. You can see he has that Venus-Sun conjunction. So his Venus-Sun conjunction, this is a likable person that people are going to see right away. He's got those attributes as well. That's going to attribute to him making money and being able to sustain himself financially through his self-image, really. These planets in Aquarius often are seen as a social person, a very unique person. He has Mars in Capricorn, conjunct Mercury, so he's got the mouth for it. He's got the words. He's got the drive. He's got the authority. Saturn in Capricorn. And this Jupiter in the 3rd in Gemini, the ability to really put on these different masks and be different people when he needs to. Much different from Jupiter in Sagittarius. Oftentimes people with Jupiter in Sagittarius, they are so honest that they have a hard time stepping into this Gemini. And realizing that sometimes you got to be different people because of the way, the nature of the human experience. See if there's anything else. This north node is squaring that Venus. So Venus and these relationships, these unique relationships, these ways of making money, etc., they're all going to be important in the life. And seems like there's got to be some resolution here, some resolution to this south node. He's really pulled into this north node, but something going on with this south node, which I'm not going to get into. Although that really does make sense coming from this Pluto in the 5th, the ruler, and this relationship that he was in, which I'm going to look more into now. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.